Exploration is only one aspect, combat's another. The third major part of gameplay is the galactic economy. With this constant exploration and constant discovery, there's going to be a demand for goods and resources across the galaxy. Trade's going to be flowing back and forth in between each of the major empires. And of course, between too. You, as players, will help be expediting this. And you'll be banding together into guilds called fleets. In a fleet, you can pool your resources to create a space station or a mining platform or satellites. All of these things will enable you to build shipyards that will make you bigger, larger ships, which you can then hand out to the rest of the fleet. Some things can only be accomplished by a lot of people working together. Now, a critical aspect of any MMO is the community. It's the fans that really make the game. It doesn't matter about us, the developers, because when an MMO launches, it's really in the hands of the fans. So I implore you, sign up on Star Trek Online right now. Go to our website, go to our forums, register, get to know the people. You know, fleets are already recruiting members right now. We're in constant discussion with the fans. And right now, up until August 18th, we're having a contest. You could possibly win a lifetime subscription to Star Trek Online. So 5 people are going to be chosen. So make sure you get online as soon as you get back to your laptops, you get home, or from the business center here. Run, don't walk, and sign up on Star Trek Online today. Now, I can't tell you when the game's going to release. If I did, the PR people in back would freak out, and my CEO would freak out. But rest assured, I do know when the game's going to release. I can't say it. But it's a lot closer than you think. Now, the reason why is this. Unlike other game companies, Cryptic Studios has made a couple MMORPGs, and we have one in development right now that's going to launch next April, Champions Online. So we already have an engine to start with. So we're just building content. As soon as we got the Star Trek license, we started building the game because everything already works. We can play on servers, play from home, and everything like that. So the long development cycles that you might expect out of other games aren't really in the cards for Cryptic Studios. We've worked very long, very hard to create a battle-tested, experienced, pipeline, tools, workflow team. And that's why we were crazy enough, as soon as we heard about the license, to jump at it, because we knew we could make this game, make it great, and make it quickly. All right, so last but not least is the gameplay trailer. Now, before we rev it up, I want everybody to know one thing. None of this is rendered. None of this is mocked. All of this is in-game footage of players in the office playing one another. We demo recorded it. So this is going to be the beginning of a very exciting time. In the coming months, we're going to be revealing more and more of the game. Before we launch the video, one more thing. Craig Zinkovich, come on up. Come on up, Craig. Everybody, Craig Zinkovich is the executive producer. Come up on stage to the folks on the web. We have hundreds of thousands of people. Craig's going to be the executive producer. He's going to be bringing Star Trek to you. And if you're an MMO fan, I want you to know this. Email him about the nerfs. When he nerfs your characters, it's all Craig's fault. All right, let's roll it.
Space, the final frontier. In the year 2161, the United Federation of Planets was founded. Its mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life forms and new civilizations. However, even those who strive for peace must be prepared for war. Star Trek Online.
So good news is we've got Q&A time, so please line up at either microphone, and I would be more than happy to take your questions. I've got a bunch that have already come online, so I can answer some of those as everybody lines up. So anyway, question number one. Jack, are you as arrogant as everybody says you are online? Yes. You nerfed my character in City of Heroes, yes. Okay, are you going to stay true to the feel of Star Trek and give players the feeling of really being in the Star Trek universe, or just putting a Star Trek skin on it? Glen Rock, New Jersey. Ah, this is the location. Well, obviously we're going to stay incredibly true to the Star Trek universe. It is very important that we don't just make this a typical MMORPG and wrap this into the IP. We'd probably sell units that way, but that's why we're having things like exploration being a major part of gameplay. So yes, we're pretty obsessed about it. In fact, my whole team has assignments. Every single member of the team has to watch an entire series. I've already watched all the series, so I'm reading the books. So if you have any suggestions for books, feel free to grab me. As Star Trek is set in the Star Trek future, will it be difficult to develop all the new story environments, devices, in addition to creating the actual game? We're actually hiring a Star Trek writer right now to help us with this. But to be honest, I've done a ton of research to help come us up with storylines which reflect the background of Star Trek and yet also move into the future. And CBS has been great working with us on this. Okay, we all set? We'll go to the left first. All right, let's go.
All right, my question is in terms of gameplay ability and hardware requirements.
Yeah.
Is it going to be tedious to actually run the game on hardware where the graphics and the CPU are not, top of the line, especially for laptops and not desktops?
I can tell you one of the lessons we learned at Cryptic was that World of Warcraft was an amazing game. And one of the amazing features is it could run on just about anything. And to make a game accessible to as many people as possible is an explicit goal that we have. So you can, we're building for a release. Our engine for Champions is next April, and so we're building on the same technology for that. So if Star Trek releases after that, you can rest assured if it ran on a lot of stuff for Champions, it'll run on a lot of stuff for Star Trek. Let's go over here. While we get that, okay, why don't you just say it, I can hear it, and I'll repeat it.
I have a question for holograms. How's the game?
Like the holosuites, holograms.
More like the smart doctors.
I see. The question is, how effective will holograms be in the game? And I view them as possible members of your bridge crew. We've actually talked about that as a potential. Instead of choosing a race like Andorian, you could choose a hologram to be your science officer. So yes, they can be playable.